What is the furthest distance between us and success? Not a lack of good ideas. It's about having a mind full of thoughts, but doing nothing. Hello everyone, welcome to Amazing Reading Space. Today, I bring you this. Why we always think too much and do too little. The author of this book is Gao Yuan. He is not only a well-known trainer, but also an expert in potential development. As the title says, in the book, the author will analyze for you why a person always thinks too much. But the reason for the delay. This problem has become the mainstream disease of modern society. With the progress of the times and the acceleration of the pace of life, the way people's brains work is also beginning to change. Become more and more overthinking, but too lazy to act. Some people don't want to be content with the status quo, without making real changes. For this topic, the author once conducted a large survey on the streets of Los Angeles. Statistics show that most people are sitting at home thinking, or stay in the office and complain. How can I live like a boss? Why is so and so able to lose weight successfully? Why does your friend make a lot of money in stocks, but you always lose money? They are strong thinkers, and many ideas emerge endlessly. But, it's just a matter of thinking. Alan would like to ask you before proceeding. Have you ever tried in the new year? I set a bunch of goals with great interest, and feel that I am full of fighting spirit this year. The goals may even change your life. You may have spent a lot of time and energy planning. Then I thought, I'm going to start executing it tomorrow. A day has passed, a week has passed. Finally, a year has passed. At this time, you picked up this dusty plan book again. Only then did I realize that I had set so many goals before. If you have experience in this field, then this book is for you. The author will assume the perspective of a potential development expert. Analyze for you why a person thinks too much and does too little. So let's get started. First, there are so many messages that a panic attack is on the verge. Just imagine, on the way to work, buses or subways are always overcrowded. Especially during rush hour and off-duty. How rare it is to meet a vacant seat. At this time, instinct will tell us to come forward immediately and sit down. Otherwise, the seat will be taken away. However, if there is no one in the car when you rush into it, at this time, we will fall into a state of hesitation. Thinking about where to sit. This is a very interesting phenomenon. When the choices are limited, the brain's judgment will be very decisive. And when faced with choices, people are often overwhelmed. Because I don't know where to start. We live in an era of information explosion. If you encounter any problems, just type on the keyboard. Google will list a lot of relevant content to meet your needs. But have you ever thought, is the information retrieved from various corners of the internet correct? Is it what you really want? For example, in the new year, you resolve to lose weight. At first, you may ask friends who have lost weight for their secrets. From them, you know you must control your diet. Calories ingested must be lower than calories expended throughout the day. Combined with regular exercise. Afterwards, to delve deeper into nutrition, you start turning on your computer. Then, online, you find more information about different ways to lose weight. There are formal and informal, such as the raw copper diet, the Paleolithic diet, or some weird way. For example, what kind of pepper diet, plastic wrap diet and the like. At this time, due to too much information entering the brain at once. 'Cause we don't know where to start, or don't know which option to tell, can bring us the final effective results. At this time, the mind will start to get tired and lazy to think. Start looking for all kinds of excuses to avoid a lot of information. Finally, it will throw a sentence, next time. As a result, there will be no next time. Second, always scare yourself with negative thinking. People with this kind of personality tend to start something. Just imagine all the worst possible development paths in your head. Always thinking too much and worrying too much. Here, Amazing will explain to you a Stories that happened in Hollywood in the 1990s. Veteran movie star, Sylvester Stallone. In one scene, you need to fight a professional boxer. The opponent has experienced many battles and has a very strong physique. In this scene, Stallone needs to fight fiercely with each other. It made him feel very uneasy, even tossing and turning the night before filming started. In addition, Stallone also inquired about the opponent's news everywhere. As a result, the information obtained indicated that this player punches very fast. The shot in the game is also very ruthless. Many people asked Stallone to think about whether to accept this scene. At that time, Stallone was already a household name. Already past the age of desperate. There is absolutely no need for him to take such risks for the sake of popularity. Until the moment before stepping into the set, he also had the idea of asking the director to delete the scene. However, in the end Stallone overcame the fear in his heart and decided to meet his opponent head-on. Unexpectedly, although the opponent has experienced many battles. But, in private, he is a very gentle person. Also in the process of filming, pay great attention to their own movements. During the filming process of the two people, no accident happened. So, before encountering anything, don't always look in the worst direction. Many times, before Amazing was a supervisor or reported to a department, I always think, what should I do if the prepared materials do not meet the requirements of the boss? What should I do if they criticize me? But experience tells me that as long as you do your best. Many times, all kinds of negative thoughts are just my own guesses. Sometimes I get compliments from my superiors, saying that my report is well done. I don't know if you have encountered such a situation. Tell me in the message area. Third, the fault of Americanism. Is perfectionism wrong? Perfectionism itself is not a problem. But the problem lies in the constraints that perfectionism brings to us. Perfectionists tend to be too strict with themselves. Strong desire to control oneself. From schedule meetings at work to trivial matters in life. No mistakes are allowed. It's this kind of character and attitude. 'Cause they tend to think before doing something. Spend too much time thinking and arranging. The author says that perfectionistic thoughts can make a person's mind become too paranoid. Fear of failure. Always think, what if the plan doesn't work out as expected? What will other people think of me? For this pressure, many perfectionists use a common bad mechanism to face. That's running away, and it ends up being nothing. In fact, nothing is perfect in the world. It is also impossible for us to plan a certain project. Take all possibilities into consideration. Therefore, we must get rid of the ideological shackles brought to us by perfectionism. And take the first step as soon as possible. To paraphrase a quote from the famous novelist Ernest Hemingway, the first draft of any article is shit. Although this sentence is simple and straightforward, it is true to the point. In fact, imperfect is not so terrible. Just get down to it. We can improve ourselves step by step in the process. Wouldn't that be better? Fourth, laziness, procrastination, and excuses. For many years, this slogan has been posted on the author's desk. Today I spent doing nothing is the tomorrow that those who died yesterday dreamed of. This sentence is an exhortation in the library of Harvard University. Remind people not to be lazy and procrastinate, and hijack your own brain and body. We all know that there is no perfect human being in this world. Therefore, it is inevitable that everyone has bad habits. Especially laziness, procrastination, avoidance of problems, etc. These bad habits are like narcotics. Dilutes our thinking, blocks our actions. Everything is, wait and talk, first, and in the end, the enthusiasm has cooled. Once you have the idea of, let's talk in a few days, it's very likely that this matter will never progress again. For example, when you are preparing to write your report, or thesis, it will be very slow at first. Because deep down, I always think about how to write the perfect content. But the truth is, the longer you think about it, the less you can write. Because there are too many ideas in our minds, we can't start. This is somewhat similar to the first point mentioned earlier. After thinking for a while, the head will start to get tired. At this time, all kinds of temptations suddenly appeared around me. Let me have a cup of coffee first, or, let me take a nap first. I comforted myself and said, I will continue to write when my condition is better. However, the best state has never come. Looking at your thesis again, chances are you haven't even finished the outline yet. In fact, if you want to overcome this lazy mentality, you have to set a deadline. That is, no matter what, must be completed by any means before the deadline. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States once conducted an interesting related experiment. Among them, 3 groups of students participated in and within a week's time, each group of students must complete specific assignments. Group 1. The tutor assigned 3 assignments to the students and set deadlines on average. The first assignment needs to be completed the next day. The second homework needs to be completed on the 4th day. The last homework needs to be completed on the 6th day. The tutor will check the progress of the students on the last day. In the second group, the instructor also assigned 3 homework assignments. But there is no time limit. In the third group, the instructor asked the students to set their own deadlines. Unsurprisingly, after the experiment, the students in the first group and the third group have a higher degree of completion. The degree of completion of the second group of students is much lower than that of the first 2 groups. The conclusion is that the more specific the deadline for a task is, the higher the degree of task completion. Because, this method will make the brain realize it's pointless to think too much. If you spend more time thinking about, then, the execution time will be shorter and shorter. So, the only way is to act now. After understanding the reasons why a person thinks too much, the author also explains the solutions to various problems in the book. Amazing believes that one of the most effective, as well as the most straightforward methods. Just don't think about anything, just do it first. Like a soldier in the war in Afghanistan who said in an interview, "My life-saving method is very simple. Just shoot first, then aim." In today's society, there is less and less time left for us to think. We must act before we think about the best strategy to solve the problem. In the book, there is such a story. Many years ago, the author used to sell cosmetics in Los Angeles. During this period, he once partnered with his good friend, Mr. Grace, for 4 months. They are known in the company as the Golden Duo, because they only use the strength of 2 people. Support 1/3 of the performance of the entire sales department. Among the 80 salesmen, the Golden Duo only has 2.5% of the human resources. Taking over 30% of the company's performance is nothing short of a miracle. That's because, in the sales process, Grace has a unique secret. That is, when you think of any idea, execute it immediately. He will not be like other colleagues. Before making any plans, think carefully for a long time. He believes that the secret to success in sales, it's never discussed in a conference room, but slowly comprehend it in actual combat. He said that whether it is in the inspirational books of various successful people, or the experience gained in actual combat, all told him a truth. That is, all beginnings are difficult. Doing anything is the most amazing thing at the beginning. Every second we procrastinate increases our fear of starting. And as time goes on, the fear grows. People procrastinate more habitually. In the end, nothing was achieved. And a sense of guilt fills my heart. Remember, everything has a difficult beginning. However, in actual combat you will find that, as long as the first step is done well, the following links will become easier. This is what Alan thinks. Overcoming the problem of thinking too much and doing too little. The most direct and effective method. Furthermore, in this book, The author also shares other ways to get ideas moving. If you feel troubled by this, Alan highly recommends reading it. You will have new insights into the information on how to improve mobility. To be honest, Alan used to be a person who often thinks too much. After reading this book, I suddenly realized that my past self spent too much time thinking. Instead, the execution part is ignored. We must know that only by taking the first step, the gears start turning. In this way, anything we do will make progress. Are you also a person who thinks too much before doing anything? Let me know by leaving a comment below. If you want to cast off the shackles of thought, Amazing suggests that you can read this book. It's not that you can't do it, it's that you think too much. This book explains why overthinking is the culprit that causes us to do bad things. After that, a new argument called unconsciousness was summed up and explained that unconsciousness can contribute to our executive power. What kind of change? Amazing also made a video for the book. If you are interested, you can click the link above the video to watch it. Well, that's all for today's sharing. If you think my content is helpful to you, just remember to like, comment, and share. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to Alan's channel. I will continue to bring you more wonderful books. Bye bye.